Hey guys, my name is Neil and welcome to the first devlog for Shrine Wars. Shrine Wars is going to be a multiplayer base defense game where the theme is that you and 50 other people are the last few people alive, and you're trying to defend the shrines in your base from a zerg of monsters. Each game will start out with the preparation phase where you go around and get resources, build defenses, and lock down the base so that when night hits, you're ready for the incoming attack. When night does hit, there's a plague that randomly kills a few people who then turn into the initial monsters. And then when the war starts, their goal is to kill all of you and destroy your shrines, and your goal is to defend the shrines and stay alive for as long as you can. The inspiration for Shrine Wars actually comes from a Minecraft minigame that I used to play called Dwarves vs. Zombies. If you know some of the Play Minecraft guys like Good, Pause and Pause, or Etho, you might have heard of DVZ. Unfortunately, the servers are closed now, but when the game was alive, it was such a fun time. One of the first things I decided to do was start a wiki for the game, which basically has all of my design, mechanics, classes, abilities, and items for the game. The reason I'm doing this so early is because I've learned that if you're not super clear about the scope and design of anything, it doesn't have to be a game, an app, website, whatever really, but if you're just going willy-nilly with no plan, you'll probably give up halfway or have to make so many changes down the road that you'll spend way more time than you would have had to if you just done it right initially. Also, since the whole game is based on multiplayer, that's like an order of magnitude more work that needs to be done. So it's pretty important that I decide what's going to be in the game and what's not going to be in the game. Speaking of multiplayer, I'm using Mirror, which is an open source networking library, and until Unity makes dots networking usable, this is probably the way to go. So far, I've implemented networked movement, animations, and player health, mana, and armor. And for the HUD, I've been using Adobe XD to wireframe and prototype everything before implementing it all in Unity. So far, I've got an ability bar with cooldown animations, health, mana, and armor bars, and a couple other things like the game stats and the equipment bar. Also been working on a basic map just to test out what I want the game's look and feel to be like. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of people trash Unity games for having, shitty graphics, and my opinion on the whole Unity versus Unreal debate is that, it's pretty clear that Unreal has better capabilities overall, especially with all the new stuff coming out in Unreal Engine 5. But I don't think many people realize just how far you can go with Unity if you put in just a little effort. I mean, you just throw in some decent lighting and post-processing and you can make your game go from this to this, which is pretty insane if you ask me. By the way, if any of you also use Unity and have a decent amount of foliage and vegetation in your game, you should probably be using Vegetation Studio. It takes advantage of indirect instancing and the burst compiler, and it made a huge difference on performance, at least in my case. Alright, well, that's all I have for the first devlog. Trying to keep it short. By the way, I've just created a Discord server, which is where I'm going to be most of the time, so if you have any suggestions or feedback, that's the place. Also, if you're on the Discord, you'll be one of the first to playtest and get early access when it comes out. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you next time.